Is that a possible word? You are an examiner for different languages. Every year you get a lot of texts and should check if the words are in the language. Since you are lazy but highly motivated, you decide to automate this process. Fortunately, the languages are pretty simple, so you want to build a state machine for every language, which can tell you quickly whether a word is in the language or not. Now you have already built the languages, but you don't want to write code for each language individually. So now you have to come up with a flexible system that accepts your language and uses it to build a functioning machine. The following example refers to the example at the bottom. Just the necessary information from the input: word ABC, state AB, start state A, end state B, transitions AAB, ACB, and BBA. You start in state A, start state. The first character found is an A. According to the corresponding transition A, AB, you move to state B. You are now in state B. The next character found is a B. According to the corresponding transition BBA, you move to state A. Back in state A, the last character found is a C. According to the corresponding transition ACB, you move to state B again. The word is over. The final state is B. This is in the set of the allowed final states, end states. So the word ABC is valid, and you print true. Right, so the first line is a string input for the alphabet, which can lead to changes in state separated with space. The second line is a string states for the possible states separated with space. The third line is an integer number of transitions for the number of transitions. The for loop is number of transitions, a string transition for the transition from one state to the next. Inside the for loop, a string start state is for the state in which you start. The string end states for allowed final states separated with space. The number of words, integer for the number of words. And the final for loop is a string word for the word which should be tested. So the output is true or false depending on whether the tested word is in the language or not. If the word contains a character that is not the alphabet, false is expected. If you're in the state and get a character that is an alphabet but no transition, also return false. So for constraints, input always lowercase, states always uppercase. Number of transition is greater than 0. Start state, there will always be exactly 1. Number of end states is greater than 0. 0 less than number of words is less than or equal to 10. Warning: the word can contain characters which are not in the input. Not every state has a subsequent state for every input, but every input leads to at most one different state in every state. There is no input that leads to 2 or more other states. So if you're in state A, the input A points either to none or one state. Right. That's 4 test cases. This is the example of input and output. And let's start this puzzle.